Okay, we're live.
Hey.
Okay, so we're practicing going live because we just need to practice this for reasons that you don't care about. And we just did an episode where we talked about some new songs that we haven't talked about on the channel yet. So if you caught that, cool. If it didn't upload, sorry. And whatever, we're moving on.
Experience.
We're moving on. Welcome to Pop Juice. Let's start there. Hello.
Hey.
Okay, there we go.
What if I talk like this the whole entire episode?
Oh, that got really weird.
I think I sound like the guy from American Dad.
I don't know who. Oh, the dad?
Is it American Dad?
The dad? The American dad?
show.
Whatever. So we have a couple gossip topics that we want to talk about.
Hot topics.
They're, I don't know how to get into this. I almost don't even want to touch this topic, but we have to
What
because
topic?
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. I want to wait until more details come out.
Yeah, well, I mean, sorry. I don't have an opinion on the topic, but I mean,
if he's lying, then that's a problem.
so let's just recap and get caught up with everything that happened. Today I was over at Coco's house and she didn't know what happened. So let's just recap for anyone who might not know what's going on exactly. So there's a mess surrounding Jussie Smollett right now. So starting on January 29th, he claimed he'd been beaten, had a noose tied around his neck, and had bleach poured onto him by two men wearing masks using racial and homophobic slurs. He also made mention of MAGA. I think one report said that they were screaming this is MAGA country, and another report that I read said they were wearing MAGA hats. So he had said he never said nothing about no MAGA hats, so we're going with they were screaming MAGA country. Anyway, so that's the first portion of the story, right? So then, that was January 29th. February 3rd, he made his first appearance on stage since the attack, and persons of interest had been identified at that point. So he went on stage, he was like, I'm fine, guys. He had a little bruise under his eye. He told his fans, like, everybody's good, blah, blah, blah.
He said I'm the gay Tupac.
Did he say that? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. That's a bit much, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so that was February 3rd, and then 10 days later, February 13th, Olabinjo and Amibola Osundairo were arrested.
You know their names.
I've been reading these names for the last 13 days. Olabinjo is a badass name. I really like that
What's
name.
the name?
Olabinjo.
Olavinjo?
I like that name.
Olavinjo.
Olabinjo. Amibola is kind of hard to say. Abimo. I'm not even saying it right. But Olabinjo is cool. Anyway, so they were arrested. They're two brothers
The six packs.
from Nigeria.
Very strong.
And one worked on Empire, it turns out. So they got arrested and they talked to the cops. And they told the cops, they're like, no, we know him.
Oh, you didn't tell them they were in Nigeria. Right after the attack, they went to Nigeria, and then they came back to
Like
America.
a couple days later.
They got arrested at the airport.
Because they were waiting. The FBI was waiting for them. Yeah. So anyway, they got arrested at the airport. They cooperated with the police and the FBI or whoever the hell else is involved. And they said, one of them, he's like, I worked with dude on Empire, and this other motherfucker, my brother, is his
personal
trainer.
for a little bit of time, yeah.
Why would we beat his ass? Then they were arrested, and then by the 16th, so a couple days later, based on what they had said, the police were like, okay, well, we need to talk to Jussie Smollett because what y'all saying versus what he is saying don't add up.
Also, Jussie refused to give him his telephone records right away, and his telephone, he was like, I don't want to. So that seemed kind of sketchy, and then he gave him his phone, after a week. So that seems kind of sketchy. Like, if something happened to you, give him your phone.
You should be. I would imagine you would
But
want
he
to
said he wants to
cooperate.
protect other celebrities' phone numbers and their privacy. I don't give a fuck about your celebrity at that time. If something happened to me, I want y'all to catch these people.
I mean, why would they need those phone numbers? Like, I'm a police officer. I'm interrogating.
They're investigating.
No, but I'm interrogating these two Nigerian dudes, and I have to talk to you and go through your phone because this happened to you. Why am I gonna go through your contacts and be like, let me hit up Lana Del Rey and see if she knows what happened?
But
I
if
don't
you
need
have
your
nothing to
contacts.
hide, wouldn't you give up your phone?
I'm not against you, Daryl. Are you not listening to what I'm saying?
Oh, I thought you sound like you were. 'Cause you sound
No,
like,
I said, why would the police need those numbers? Why would he need to protect those numbers? Police don't want those numbers.
oh, okay.
anyway, so I guess based on what they had said to the police, the two brothers, they said that Jussie orchestrated the whole thing. They said he paid them, I think it was $3,500 each to beat him up. And
That ain't no money.
And then they were supposed to get $500 back, or like on top of that when they came back from Nigeria. So it's supposed to be $4,000 a piece total. Which, yeah, that's.
Not a lot of money.
I mean, but for like how much time did it take? Like how much work did it really take?
All this drama?
I mean, yeah, but okay, let's say if he orchestrated it, he probably only expected this to last like beat me up. This will be over in 15 minutes. Here's $4,000. I would take $4,000 for 15 minutes worth of work. Would you?
What I would like to know is why would anybody try to fuck with the FBI?
Nobody. I don't think anybody thought the FBI were going to be involved. I think their dumbasses did not think this through.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you
If
making
they
something like
orchestrated
this and making reports, you are taking away time from people that actually need the police, like that need the FBI. There was a kid that like shot himself or something like that, and it's because all the police efforts were on this Jussie Smollett case that they couldn't even go to that case.
Okay.
So like that's my issue. Like, why would somebody lie about that? Even if you were like trying to do this.
Why would somebody lie about that? Is a great question. On to my next card. So CBS had reported that Jussie Smollett was upset that he didn't get, and this is happened before the attack. He was upset that he didn't get a bigger reaction from a threatening letter that was sent to him. So I guess he got a threatening letter to the Empire set containing white powder that was later discovered to be like, I don't even remember what it was, aspirin or some bullshit, but it looked like anthrax or something. And he actually tweeted about it on January 27th, which is 2 days before the event itself of, the alleged, what are we calling it? What are we calling it?
Incident,
I guess. Orchestration is what I was looking for. Very orchestrated this shit. 2 days before that, he tweeted, "Frauds are everywhere, y'all. Protect the mind, heart, and spirit of you and your people at all costs. Just remember, salt, cocaine, anthrax can all appear to be sugar, blah, blah, blah." He was referring, I think, to that letter that got sent to the Empire set, calling him like a faggot or something, and saying want to kill him, I don't know. But he was upset that he didn't get a bigger reaction from that event. So the why could be that he wanted to orchestrate something that would actually draw attention to like the real threat that happened to him.
that's still not okay. It sounds like he was drunk or high when he made that decision.
I mean, he could have been. He also told Robin Roberts he was pissed off that critics doubted his story. So there's a lot of anger going on here. And if it turns out that that initial letter too was fraud, in addition, separately even from this orchestrated attack, allegedly, then he faces mail fraud because you can't mail fraud. It's a federal offense. So he has since had his scenes pulled from the Empire TV show. They edited him out. He faces class 4 felony charges. It's a class 4 felony in Illinois, what he did. And
he lawyered up.
yeah, and he lawyered up with what's that lawyer's name?
I don't know. I don't think it was
Guglielmi? It's Guglielmi. Guglielmi.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know what it is. But yeah, I mean, the news are reporting they're really seeming like no one's on Jussie's side. I really hope he did not orchestrate this. I really hope it turns out that a mistake was made. Because that's really fucked up. If he orchestrated this.
I need more information, and like every day something new comes out on this. So I think what I learned from this is not to jump to conclusions and kind of just wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because we live in this digital media era where we just jump on anything that happens and run whatever the news is. If I tweeted something about Beyonce and the news is like, and it picks up, the news is gonna report it the next day. I don't know what Beyonce doing. So that's my opinion about that.
I mean, yeah, I really hope that some good news comes out of this because it just keeps seeming like it keeps getting worse and worse.
I mean, like, I don't want him to go to prison.
Yeah.
But he should not be lying about that. That's not okay. That's some psychological fucked up shit to do.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so next gossip topic. Or, well, I guess, what do you guys think about Jussie?
That's 10 minutes.
Jussie, do you think he did it? I'm not worried about that this time. And do you think he did it?
I don't know.
Okay, gossip. 21 Savage, and Demi Lovato and Wale are just like in a little. 21 Savage really ain't even part of the gossip. Like, I mean, you all know probably by now that he was deported the day before the Super Bowl, and he was the day before the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and then there was all these memes talking about he had to go back to the UK, which no one knew he was from the UK as far as anybody else was
Everybody thought he was
concerned.
from
He thought he was from
Atlanta.
Atlanta because he is from Atlanta. So I guess
He had been there since he was like 4.
6. Yeah, he
6.
came here when he was 6. He basically like a black version of a Mexican dreamer, like the Dreamers. They got brought here as kids. They got stuck here, and now they're here with no papers, kind of illegal as fuck, and it's really not their fault.
But he did file his papers. And he also had been talking about the kids at the border, talking about how he wouldn't want his kids to go through something like that. So he'd been like, kind of been talking about it. So the FBI kind of had it out for him. ICE had it out for him, which is fucked up. Because they listening to these rap songs and being like, we coming after you. That's fucked up. That's so fucked up.
I'm picturing ICE in like a police car, just listening to the rap lyrics, like looking out the window for him, like, waiting for him. Well, I guess what had happened was, he came to America when he was 6. His visa expired in 2006 when he was like 13, 14. He kept hanging out here, became a rapper. And then on the Super Bowl, like everybody was tweeting those memes about him, and Demi Lovato said, because the Super Bowl sucked, you all know the Super Bowl was boring AF. So she said, so far 21 Savage memes have been my favorite part of the Super Bowl. Well, people did not take kindly to that. Now keep in mind, there were all kind of different memes that came out. There were silly ones, there was probably some pretty rude ones, and there was just ones that were just like, we didn't know, like my face when I learned that 21 Savage is from the UK. Like no one fucking knew that. So not all of it's just like, mean-spirited. Some of it's just, it was kind of shocking. So after Demi said that, people came for her, like Offset came for her, some other activists came for her, and obviously Wale came for her. And she clapped back at Wale saying, Wale just salty, I never responded to his desperate tweets years ago. You think he was trying to hit that?
Yeah. I mean, Demi Lovato had that moment where she was really, really hot. Like she had that like hit single on the radio.
Cool for the summer.
Yeah, and she was dressing all
Woo!
sexy. Yeah. So people was all in her DMs.
Yeah, I'm sure. So Wale said, wait. I don't think this is in the right order. Wale had said that wasn't cool. And she had responded, no, this is the right order. Wale said, still ain't gonna disrespect you, still praying for you, Demi. Glad you've seen my old tweets. Hopefully you've seen the other ones, providing you comfort and prayer when you were down. I don't kick people when they're down.
Ooh.
Referring to her, she has drug problems and she goes to rehab kind
She
of
almost died.
every so
She
often.
OD'd
Yeah.
on cocaine.
I mean, she's had a problem for a long time.
Right.
She's been battling this addiction for a long time.
The thing is that prison is not fun for anybody. So you shouldn't wish that on anybody. Nobody wants to go to prison. Nobody wants to be detained. Nobody wants to be locked up. He said he was locked up for 24 hours a day. I think he got out for like an hour a day.
I thought he was locked up for one day.
No, he was gone for like 14 days. He was locked up for like 14 days. So
I mean, that is what the first 2 weeks of prison is. It's
that's
one
awful though. Like nobody wants to experience that. Like, and she almost died, and she got really upset at all the tweets that were making fun of her, all the memes that were making fun of her. Like, it's not okay to be making fun of people in their hard times. Like, she should know more. Like, she should know better than that.
Well, Demi had to say for herself, wasn't laughing at anyone getting deported. I know that's not a joke. The meme I posted / was talking about was of him writing with a feather pen. Because he's from the UK. It seemed like fancy British, I guess. Sorry if I offended anyone, but it's no excuse to laugh at someone's addiction, let alone their overdose. I don't think Wale was laughing at her addiction or her overdose. He did kind of like stoop kind of low to bring that up, honestly, but he wasn't laughing at her. I also believe that she wasn't laughing at the fact that he was locked up. I just think that she, like the rest of America, was like, this motherfucker's from the UK, just like, that's funny to me. I had no idea. Not necessarily that he's in jail is funny. But I don't know. I don't actually know where her heart is at. But I'm going to just assume the best.
She also responded to a fan though that like commented to her like, you shouldn't laugh at people who are getting locked up
Yeah.
or deported.
Mm-hmm.
And she lashed out at that fan.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it seem like, you know, if you made a mistake, fine. Like own up to the mistake right away.
Yeah.
You're like, or reference, like show the tweet again, retweet the tweet that you were talking about,
Yeah.
and comment, this is one I was laughing at. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I apologize. Like, she was going at it with people on Twitter that day.
Well, all of that ended up being way too much for her, and then she deleted her Twitter and went straight to rehab.
Way to wrap up the story.
Well, that's what happened. She's in rehab. She deactivated her Twitter and she went to rehab. Went back to rehab. I mean, that would be a lot for me too. Like, I cannot fucking imagine. I've had one solitary negative comment on a video one time and wanted to kill myself. I mean, maybe that's
Oh
an
my God,
exaggeration.
Angel.
That's an exaggeration. But I felt really hurt. Like, I felt like I was just like, I wanted to retaliate. I was like, fuck you, bitch, I don't like you either. I was like really upset. So I can't imagine like if like not only like a bunch of normal people, like thousands of normal people, fans and not fans alike, are coming for you, and then on top of that, like people who you actually work with in the same industry or look up to in like in public service works and leaders of that sort come for you too via Twitter, and like I don't know, it's just such like an attacking type of environment that social media is right now. Like everyone wants to attack everybody, and like you know, all those people who made the memes are not getting attacked. This is what's kind of fucked up. It's all the people who made the memes are not getting attacked, and all the normal people running around are not getting attacked. But like this girl actually, I can see how it was overwhelming to her because she has so many people attacking her.
I think that if it didn't come from Demi Lovato, it would not have been such a big deal. But it was just because she just got out of rehab and she's alive and she could have died, and all these people were saying these praise about her, but at the same time people were making fun of her. So they were like, I think towards everyone else, they're like, you should know better.
Yeah.
You just kind of went through something similar, even though it wasn't the same thing. It was sort of similar. But that kind of brings up the whole cancel culture, which I know you don't agree
Yeah,
with.
I hate all y'all who are like ready to cancel anybody the first mistake they make. Like, I'm not for that. People
Yeah.
make mistakes. I make mistakes. You make mistakes.
Right.
What if the whole world canceled my entire career and all my ambitions that I've worked for my entire life because I made a mistake? That's fucked up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I saw somebody on the Breakfast Club today, Michael Eric Dyson, talking about it. He's very eloquent. You should read his books and follow him if you don't know him. But he's just basically talking, pretty much agreeing with what you're saying. You can't cancel somebody because they made one mistake. He was like,
Or two.
we should
Or three.
we should teach these people and help them learn from their mistake. But at the same time, something that kept coming to my brain is like, if they keep making the same mistake, then that's who they are.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Until they
And-
learn. They could learn something.
But if they're not going to learn anything,
Right.
then they should be canceled. Not necessarily canceled, but like we should stop supporting them. We should stop buying their music or buying their clothes or whatever the case is because they're refusing to learn from it.
See,
They
that's
want to keep being problematic, and that's not okay.
That's the part where I don't know if you should. The word should there is key for me personally. Because like if you knew me in my 20s, I said a lot of ignorant ass, stupid ass shit. I really did. And I know better now. But like if you knew me at 22 and I was still doing the same stupid shit at 25, you might be like, well, he's never gonna learn. Like that's not true. I'm just still in my stupid ass 20s. I will learn someday, and I did learn from my mistakes. And for somebody who's on in the public eye, if you are gonna use that same, you know, law to go by that you just described, like, well,
Mindset.
if they're not gonna learn, then they're not gonna learn. They will, but you don't have to support them. You don't have to. But it's also not like you should or you shouldn't. So like if you decide to stop supporting somebody and I don't, like I don't think it's fair for like you to say I should stop supporting them. Like no, I'll support whoever the fuck I want to support. You know, and I shouldn't also be condemned for that either.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, I don't think that, like, for example, if somebody's raping people, I don't think that you should give them the power to keep being able to rape people. I don't think that's okay. I don't, like, if you're a predator, you should not keep doing that. Like, that's not okay.
Yeah. But then like
if you're doing the same thing you did 30 years ago, today, you still peeing on little girls,
Sure.
then that's not okay.
Anyone know who he's talking about? No, okay, yeah, okay, absolutely, and that's fine, that's fair. But like, for example, like,
Donald Trump's been racist for 30 years. It's not going away.
for example, like, if your child's a murderer, like something super fucking reprehensible, right? Like your child's a murderer, like everyone's gonna be anti your child. But like, if your kid's shot up to Columbine school or like something really fucking ridiculous like that happened, and you're the parent in the situation, you're not gonna give up on your child. You're literally never gonna give up on your child. You're not gonna be like, go to hell, I never want to see you again. You want to like hold that child and fix whatever the fuck went wrong with them to cause them to do that. And that brings me to Nicki Minaj and her family member, her brother, who was raping people, underage girls or whatever the fuck he was doing.
And now she's getting married to somebody who allegedly.
And people
raped
are
somebody
like,
too.
cancel Nicki Minaj. Well, that's your prerogative. You can cancel whatever the fuck you want. I disagree with that because that's her family. Like, that's her brother. Like, she's gonna support him. If he don't have his family, like, who does he have? Then he's just gonna be alone with all his problems and nothing's gonna fix him. Like, literally nothing. So, I don't know. That's just how I look at things. I don't cancel people.
Well, what I learned today from listening to Michael Eric Dyson and listening to Angel is that I'm probably not going to cancel people either, because you really, in reality, you don't really have the power to cancel anybody. And what Michael Eric Dyson said is, this is actually something that the white people have kind of brought into the culture of canceling people. Like, they tried to cancel black people many, many, many times. All through our time here in America, they've been trying to cancel black people. So that, he was saying that's like a white supremacist mind thought, because they've been trying to do that to us for years. And you, in reality, you digitally can't cancel somebody. Like, you just can't. Like, they're still gonna be here.
Yeah.
You know, regardless. If you, Angel said, I'm canceling you, that person could be like, so what? Who the fuck is Angel? Like, it doesn't matter if you say you cancel somebody. It doesn't really do anything. But what you can actually do is try to teach these people and try to get them to learn what's right. You can try to help them. But, like I said, in reality, if they're not going to change and they show them their true colors, that's it.
That's fine too. Who is this? Michael Eric Dyson?
Yeah. He's like
I like it.
He's like a professor. He was a preacher, I think, at one point in his lifetime. He's an activist. He spilled some tea on Michelle Obama, too, on that. On the Breakfast Club.
Save that. Keep that.
That's another topic.
Thank you for watching. Put under the comments if you enjoyed our live show. Put under the comments if you were able to see it, or if there was any like weird glitches or stuff that we need to know about. The sound was really bad. I'm sorry. I forgot to apologize to begin with because
Our microphone broke.
we broke the microphone cord, so we gotta order a new one and wait for it to arrive.
Oh shit! I need one for school.
So we gotta get a new one quick.
Yeah.
But in any case, thank you. Any other parting words?
Say bye, Scott.
Bye. Okay. Wait. They probably can't even see her.
Oh, there's a sleepy puppy.
Okay. Bye.
It's like not recorded.
I don't even know how to stop this. How do I stop?
Snow. Snow.
You're coming.
You still sleepy?